Today is April 16th, and we do have some news for the day. So let's bring that up, and let's see here. Okay, so again, not breaking news by any means, but rose windows of Notre Dame are safe, but fate of other treasures is unclear. The Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris is home to scores of priceless artifacts, artwork, and relics collected over the centuries, each with their own story. As a devastating fire tore, blah, 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 the Paris Fire Brigade, this is the part that I wanted to cover. The Paris Fire Brigade tweeted that the cathedral stone construction has been saved, as have the main works of art. As more information emerges, what has been rescued from Notre Dame is becoming apparent. Yet many details, such as possible water damage from the operation to save the building, are still unclear. So it does look like the crown of thorns, which the cathedral calls its most venerated relic, was saved. So they have this. And so according to my wife, this, because, I've never been there before, but she was saying how it's a huge, huge building, and that two of the spires were saved. So they only lost one of them. I mean, I know that that's terrible and everything, but it does appear that they were able to save part of it. But she did say this was a huge place, which was interesting because the videos that we showed yesterday didn't actually do it justice. But I think she said it was like 2 blocks long or something like that. Hey, Kenobi, how are you? Nice to see you again. Let us just watch it happen naturally. Cover, don't make us the pervs that have to go Google Witcher sex scenes in lieu of just seeing it in the game. Wait, are we talking about the plot to the 40-year-old virgin or Witcher 3? Shani, Triss, Yennefer changed my mind. But so anyway, so again, it's unfortunate, and I'm sure that for some people it is more sad than others. And I would assume that if you've been there, it probably has a bigger impact on you. This was something that I read. This is more financial news, offering shoppers new experiences and helping as malls see tsunami.
Because I don't like nuts, because I love nuts. 100% I love nuts.
Mr. J, thank you for the 10. Thank you for the 10 biddies, dude. I appreciate it. As malls see tsunami of store closures, falling traffic. This was something that we talked about a couple months ago, but apparently U.S. retailers so far have announced they will shut down virtually 6,000 stores while opening 2,641 in 2019, according to real estate tracking done by blah, 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 blah. A separate report by data and analytics firm Thasos found foot traffic dropping off at malls across the country. A lot of malls have been trying to find new ways to bring people in, but it does appear that online shopping, which I think for most of us is the way that we shop nowadays, has really had a strong impact on commercial retail. And so anyway, I thought this was interesting, because there's a lot of back and forth on whether or not the economy is doing well or not, right? Like you have like opposing forces constantly talking about that, and I think that there's probably areas that are doing well, and then there's areas that are not doing so well, and this is one of them. World's most dangerous bird kills 75-year-old man in Florida. So this bird is called I was reading about this on my way back. I was reading about this. Actually, we'll just watch the video. How about that? Instead of me narrating all of it.
An unusual call for sheriff's deputies right Friday morning.
EMS responded to an incident where caller gave information that an exotic bird had attacked someone on the property.
Andrew Cratter here manages the bird collection at the Florida Museum of Natural History.
Didn't know that there were many in private hands. It was shocking. I've heard that they're dangerous, but I've always thought it was almost an urban myth that they were capable of killing a person, so I was shocked.
The birds were corralled before deputies arrived, but Hayhost died of his injuries later at the hospital. His family asked us to stay off the property, a neighbor allowing us in their own backyard to get this video of the birds.
Cassowaries are native to Australia and Papua New
Cassowaries, there you
Guinea.
go.
And as somebody who actually lived in the eastern highlands of Papua New
This
Guinea
dude
for
didn't
10
even
years
bother
as a
to fix
child,
his tie.
I can tell you from firsthand experience that we were always told there were two animals that you simply do not mess with because of their aggressive and violent nature. The first is a wild boar, and the second is a cassowary.
Apparently, they can. Be
I didn't even know
pretty
what the hell a
aggressive if they
cassowary
feel
was.
Threatened, and they have this nasty toe that they can kick with, and as you can see, it's like a it's a fairly fearsome weapon for them.
With very strong
doesn't look
legs,
that fearsome to
kick
me.
defense,
I want to punch that thing in the
claws that
face.
can literally gut you because they can jump over 4 feet in the air.
Damn.
And they can hit about anybody in the midsection.
And as to what will happen to the bird,
Look at the pig on. Look, you saw the
I think
hog
it's
on the
gonna be up
side.
to the people that end up taking the property. So family members and how they deal with that and what they want to do with the bird ultimately is going to be their decision.
FWC says the birds are permitted for breeding through the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services.
And apparently are killers. Just saying. So anyway, so this
Glad you're
dude,
back. How you
this
feeling?
dude apparently fell in his backyard, and those bad boys gutted his ass. Okay, so anyway, so last story of the day before we watch a trailer. Swallowing a partner's semen could help you have a baby is a claim by scientists. So women who regularly swallow their boyfriend or husband's sperm may be less likely to suffer miscarriages, scientists have claimed. So semen contains hormones and proteins from a man's body, meaning women may need to build up a tolerance to it. Unprotected sex is one way for a woman to get their bodies used to a loved one's sexual emissions, but it's believed introducing semen to the digestive system may have a similar effect. Researchers, blah, 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 in the Netherlands tested their theory by comparing the pregnancy history and oral sex habits of 234 women. That's a pretty good sample size. I think this is a fact, and we should all accept it. The team believe their results suggest a link between blowjobs and the birth of healthy babies, although further investigation is needed to test the theory. I volunteer. In total, 97 of the women suffered from 3 or more miscarriages in a row. During their study, the scientists found women who experienced regular miscarriages were less likely to give their partners oral sex. However, before men get too excited, I mean, because I'm sure women get excited too, it's worth noting that the study was small and does not provide 100% concrete evidence that swallowing sperm can prevent miscarriages. We should omit this part. Oral exposure to seminal fluid seems to influence pregnancy outcome in a positive way. Boom. That's the quote of the day. We should make a command for this. And this is the quote of the day. Entity1394, thanks again for the follow. Cassowaries are the velociraptors of the bird world. Is that right? And can they eat people too, Entity? Or it's just like they can maim them with the claw? They got 23-year-old virgins writing scientific studies now. Yes, further investigation is needing. 100%, I'll get back to you on this. Anyway, I got to be careful because when I was reading this in the car next to my mother-in-law, I scrolled down and there was like a naked chick down here. So we need to be careful. But anyway, we should have a sub-alert with this. I mean, honestly, is this not a great image right here? I came to watch The Witcher 3 and now I'm learning about semen swallowing helping pregnancy, maiming them with the claw. Entity, we're going to get right to Witcher 3. Florida, of course. I mean, Soren the Deceiver, could it be anywhere other than Florida? I mean, all the crazy shit happens in Florida. No, in all seriousness, if you're new here, typically when we go live, we do a little bit of an intro period. We kind of just talk about stuff that's going on. And then we do a segment here called Fake News, which is really real news that I go through every day before I go live or the night before. And just, it's typically like something news related, something sports related, and something related to video games. And so anyway, it's just kind of a part of the diversity of the channel. Anyway, here we go. So this is the trailer. This is the official reveal trailer for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
wasn't always like this. But now, there are 3 rules to survive. Don't stand out.
This guy like is so he's like emo. This guy's emo.
Accept the past. Trust
Yeah.
no one. The galaxy's changed. Whatever you do, don't reach within. Don't stand out. Accept the past.
Execute Order 66.
Trust no one. Trust only in the Force.
He's so emo, dude. Like, I would say I still would like I still would consider playing this. I would say I'd still consider playing this, although I do feel like this reveal trailer is like it's a little over dramatic, but I also feel like most of the male protagonists, whether it be video games or movies, I'd say maybe in the last like 4 years, I feel like even like in God of War, I feel like Kratos was, and they didn't do it that much there because it's hard to do it with Kratos because he's a freaking savage. But I still feel like they tried to do it there where like the male protagonist is like over emotional, right? More than I'm used to encountering just in my day-to-day life. Like I feel like they're exaggerating that because there's this strong like initiative or push for it to be okay for men to express their emotions, I guess. Which is fine. I don't have a problem with anybody expressing their emotions. It's just that I feel like it's being overdone, which is like a very Hollywood kind of thing, right? Like they overdo things. We might as well watch this as well. I won't watch this movie anyway. I'm done with Star Wars. Star Wars, this redux on Star Wars. I'm just not enjoying it. Although I did enjoy Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was really good.
1,000 generations live in you now. But this is your fight.
I mean, he's a little close to the ground. Just saying. When you are sitting, that's a hell of a jump, girl. I do like Lando. I liked him in Empire Strikes Back.
We'll always
Such a bummer that lady died, dude. That scene looks pretty cool, though.
No one's ever really gone.
Okay, so I hate to spoil it for you guys that are like super pumped to watch this, but apparently the Emperor is still alive. Yeah, and apparently, I guess she's a Skywalker, or they're baiting us with that. But it does seem like the Emperor is still alive, which is interesting. I'm not gonna lie, that does intrigue me. But I just really have not enjoyed the new Star Wars. I don't know. Maybe it's just that I've watched so much Star Wars.